Tools needed for changing the cartridge in an A3650, Phillips head screwdriver, and crescent wrench. To change a cartridge, first thing you need to do is remove the handle. To do that, you need to gain access to the screw. This little cap is pressure fit. You can put your fingernail in between the edge here, or if it's kind of difficult, using some dental floss and wedging it in there to pop it off will work. Once the cap is removed, remove the screw from inside the handle by turning it counterclockwise with a Phillips head screwdriver. Once you have released it from all of its threads, you can either pop the screw out or just leave it in there and move to the next step. Once cap is removed and the screw is undone, remove the escutcheon by unscrewing it. When off, you can pull the handle off of the cartridge. Once the handle is removed, there's a cartridge nut here, the brass portion, that needs to be removed. Crescent wrench needs to be slid in there. From the front side, honestly, there's not a lot of space in there. You get it nice and tight, and you just work it to the counterclockwise to the point where it's loose enough that you can use your fingers to unscrew it completely. Once the nut is removed, the cartridge will simply slide out, and then you can replace the new cartridge with the one you've been sent. You'll notice these two little feet on the cartridge have matching holes. You can see the one on the right up in this corner. So when you slide your new cartridge into the body, you want to make sure the feet are on the top and just slide it in and wiggle it just a little bit to make sure it's in there. And then once you feel like the feet are in place, this will not rotate anymore. Then you will replace your cartridge nut, screw it back in, finger tight, and then use your crescent wrench to just give it a another eighth of a turn, just to well, see, I didn't get it finger tight enough. Just get it to the point where it's snug. You don't need to crank it, you don't need to give it extra torque. Just make sure that it's nice and snug. You should be all set. Once you've replaced the cartridge, and before you replace the handle, turn the water on and just use the cartridge stem to turn the water on and off, just to ensure that there are no leaks at the cartridge before you reassemble the handle. If there are leaks, if you've over-tightened it, you might want to loosen it a little bit. But if you haven't tightened it enough for fear of damaging the cartridge, you just might want to give it a little extra turn. After cartridge has been replaced and the cartridge nut has been put on, to replace the handle, there are specific grooves to match the squareness of the cartridge stem. You want to make sure those are nice and lined up so that when you slide it on, it's easy. And then retighten or re-screw on the escutcheon as you did when you took it off. Reinstall the screw, put your cap back on, and you're all set.